father, I got your ass control. Shit, I'm putting you in my food, I'm putting you in shampoo. They had it all in shampoo and shit.
I just did.
But I always
I thought he was in his, so I
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
We'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honor to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to Yahakim pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, we're the Hebrew Israelites. We come week in, week out, prophesy. All right, one thing, the downfall of America. All right, which is AKA Babylon the Great. And also to let our people know that they are the true Hebrew Israelites, the so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans. And you are, and the spirit resonates with you and you receive this word, then you could very well be the nation of Israel. Because only who's going to receive this word is the nation of Israel. And we're coming through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And what do we do when we come forth? We come to speak prophecy. What's to come before, what's to come to soon to what? The town near you. All right, and we can just jump right into it.
God. This is Luke 12:42. And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household?
Yeah, and who is that faithful and wise,
Who is then that faithful and wise steward
the faithful and wise steward
whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household to give them their portion of meat in due season?
now in due season. Now think about right now. If the Lord got that faithful and wise steward that's basically ruling right now, of course not. Job 9:24. What do it say? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. He hath covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now he's being revealed today. It's being who? The so-called white man. They are the son of perdition, as it's talked about in 2 Thessalonians 3. Now we have in due time to come is what? The kingdom of heaven. Because it was two men that received what? The dew of the earth. Who's going to rule over the earth, the whole earth. Not just on the eastern section or the hemisphere of the earth. The whole earth. That was Jacob and Esau. And the descendants of Jacob and Esau. So if Esau is ruling today and there was only two, who is to come? We can get our
Luke 12:42. And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household to give them their portion of meat in due season?
in due season.
Second Ezra chapter 6, in verse 8, it says, and he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac. Well, I'll start over. Verse 7, Second Ezra 6:7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
All right. In due time, when is this going to happen? The end of the first and the next is going to follow. All right. So in due time, this is basically letting you know that this rulership that's being ran by Esau Edom is going to come to a close soon. That is what's coming.
Verse 8, and he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Done. And that is it. In due season, Esau is going to be the end of his world, and who's going to come? Jacob is going to be the beginning of it that follows.
Right.
All right. And who is that wise and faithful stewardess who's going to be the head of that rulership? Yahweh Shai. All right. So you have Yahweh and then you have Yahweh Shai. He was that servant that did what? He was worthy to open up the book. All right. He was the one that was worthy to open the book. All right. That lamb with no blemish. And he's going to bring forth what? And usher in what? The new kingdom of heaven. That's why we're out here on the highways and byways sighing and crying. Right? Isaiah 58 tells you we're those watchmen. And we're basically here to tell you what's to come. Get prepared for who? That faithful steward. Same thing what John did when he was actually walking upon the earth. right? His cousin John said, make way for what? The one that before, basically he said, I'm going to bring him forth and present him. All right, he was the one that was setting him up to come on stage. And that's what we're doing, in the same stead as John.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Yep, set over one that profitable. Now, we're seeing any profit here in this world? Hell no, of course not. Everything you see is a deduction of everything. Life, the how long you live is being reduced over a period of time. How you eat, you know what I'm saying? Your body's breaking down faster. Relationship for man and woman, breaking down faster. All type of divorce. The woman is over the man. This needs new management, right? Sirach 10 tells you that. The one righteous dealing riches gotten by the seat, the kingdom will be translated from one kingdom to another. Just like we read in 2 Ezra 6.
Here's that word profitable for the adjective usage on the online etymology dictionary, yielding spiritual or moral benefit.
Spiritual or moral benefit. All right, morality in this place is through. It's done. Look at our women. You think they have any morality in them? Walking around half naked? Come on, bro. Our people are through. We need new management. If we don't receive new management, this place is gonna basically end with no flesh left. Don't the scriptures say that?
Isaiah 24 in verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Right.
Yeah, going into like what the brother is saying, man. Everything is defiled under this man's rulership, man. And he's basically putting it out there what he's doing to you, man, in that movie, They Clone Tyrone, man. You see? You gotta go, I gotta go check that movie out, man. Esau letting it be known what he's putting out, what he's putting in the food. Everything that Jake like to eat. Because that's what it's all centered around. Everything that deals with Jake.
Right.
You see? And he polluting the juices. You see? Every fucking thing, bro. You see? And not only that, but the earth as well, man. You see? The relationship, like the brother said, the family structure, everything is totally off course, like the scripture say in the book of Psalms, man. Right. The whole earth is out of course, man, under this man's rulership. Why? Because he transgressed the laws, man. You see? He don't keep none of the Heavenly Father's statutes or commandments, man. You see?
Bro, you try to go in and try to eat a burger, and you gotta debate and be like, is this real meat that I'm gonna eat? Am I eating real meat? Am I not? You buy some chicken from the grocery store, you gotta feel and try to check on the texture. But the shit might not be real.
Right.
So you gotta ask yourself, why is this man trying to take something that was already good, perfect, that the Lord had made, and try to change everything? Because he's adverse to the Lord. He's adverse to righteousness.
It's Proverbs 23 and 6. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yep.
Eat.
Okay. Yeah.
It says, eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Done. Yeah, just laying backing off what the officer's going into, man. Now, of course, it was already prophesied in Ezekiel the 4th chapter that we're going to have to eat the foul bread among the Gentiles, right? But he's ultimately trying to lay a snare. Well, not trying, he is. He's laying a snare in the trap, especially unto us Israelites, man, right? You see, his plans for humanity is either to starve you out, right, or you take his charagma, you see? But many people are going to be deceived by his dainty meats, and the meats go far and beyond, the actual food. Ultimately going into, you eating off this man's, table, if you will, I guess you say, spiritually speaking. You're being caught up in the dainties of this world, man. Right. But see, that's a trick and a snare, because that's going to come with a clause in the contract, if you will. Mm-hmm. See? Such as, case in point, what happened in 2020 with this worldwide mass epidemic, if you will. You see, he said, well, you can't have your job unless you get this pokey poke, man. See, that was just a small precursor ultimately to what's going to happen in these times, in this short upcoming months, man. You see?
That's right.
And if you haven't trained your mind, right, to ultimately be spiritually minded, have faith in Yahweh Basham Shah, fast and pray, well, you're going to be caught up in this man's system, all because you're going to be like Esau, like he was in Genesis 25. You're going to do away with your birthright because you're hungry, man. As scriptures speak about, their God is their belly. That's it.
That's right. Hey, and the man has set a snare. And when we don't receive, like you say, you don't have faith in to receive what the Lord is going to do is what? Hide the elect. Then you're going to be set up following that snare. But he's setting that infrastructure you mentioned earlier. You brought it up like the infrastructure of what? That charagma is coming about. And it's already being set, and the stage is being set for that to happen. All right? And that's why he's doing away with these food plants, you know, burning down all the food plants, telling all these farmers to destroy their crops, killing all the farm animals. Why? Because he's trying to set a funnel just to get you to fall into suit. To do what? Say, I need help. I got to come to you for all things. What for all things? And you be like, okay, to receive this, you got to receive something from me to take to receive food, all right, to receive money. And that's going to be that charagma.
Psalms chapter 10 and verse 1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices they have imagined.
Yeah, so they're, you know what I'm saying, they're getting ready to set up for all these different snares and things. The Lord said they're going to get caught in their own trap. Right? Because he's going to get to a point where Esau thinks he's going to fill his belly by performing his enterprise. By setting up for that charagma. And one thing he's trying to do is set up to do away with you niggers. All right? You niggers. But is he going to do it? For the 2/3, yes, you're going to get caught up in that web. Esau's web you're going to get caught up into. But the 2/3 is going to be, but the elect is going to be delivered. The Lord is going to hide us during those times.
Right.
First, I was looking up because ever since you mentioned like dainties and things like that, not basically like scripture saying Proverbs. Actually, I'll get to I'll get his precept and then I'll get the word. This is Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 6. It says, eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Like you were going into, bro. Spiritually, Esau's table that he presents in front of you is contents of death. You know what I mean? Basically, anything that you eat off his table is going to have some level of poison in it, right? To a degree where it's going to cause you to go away from the path of health, the path of wholesomeness, the path of life, right? Which is Yahweh Shem Shai. Now, the other precept I had is in Revelation chapter 18. And we know Revelation 18 talks about America. And then it goes down a list of all the things that America lost when it got destroyed, right? So I'm going to just jump straight to the point. Revelation chapter 18, it says in verse 14, it says, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And then when I got that word dainty, and after this I'll get back over. But when you look at that word dainty, which by the way, this verse is talking about how when America, Babylon the Great gets destroyed, all of the delicacies of this life is going to be eradicated. Right? You know, all the hotels, 5-star hotels, and jacuzzis, and private jets, they're all going to be disintegrated, right? And so all the clubs and all the alcohol, all the women that's still here, they're gonna be gone, right? So that word dainties is Strong's G, Strong's G 3045, Liparos. It says things which pertain to a sumptuous and delicate style of living. So, when you brought that word, the dainty meats, it made me, look it up, and that's one of the words for dainties, is that word liparos, which is that it says things which pertain to a sumptuous and delicate style of living. So, just to answer your brother's point, that's just going to be done away with in the time that we're coming into. You know,
King's meat. That's Esau's meat right there.
1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
Hey, so it ain't no gray area. You can't jump back and forth over the fence. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of Esau and play. No, that's being what? Lukewarm, right? And what's the Lord is gonna do if you constantly try to jump back and forth? A lot of Israelite camps do that. Try to still be in the world, still try to be, in the truth. Do a little bit of here. I still want to be a little thug here. You know what I'm saying? But what the Lord is going to do is eventually spew you out. That's why you got to constantly keep yourself in check, right? Keep that sound mind. Constantly thinking about the Lord. And basically constantly repenting. Right? Because when you up there trying to deal with Esau and the Lord, hey, the Lord said, hey, do away with Micah 2, one of my favorite scriptures. Micah 2 and 10. Come out of her, my people, right? Come out of the philosophies, come out of the ways of Esau's way, Babylon the Great way. Because that's going to lead into what? Breach they went into is Esau, his dainties and things, his meat and what you receive is going to lead to death. But the Lord is going to keep us from being defiled. Even with the food, the actual food is what? He expected us to kill us far sooner than than now. We're still living. Now he's shocked like, damn, I put poison in everything, but yet these niggas still keep going. We energize a bunny niggas. But we gotta continue going because the Spirit of the Lord, He'll put that spirit in us, not to basically fall from the ways of Esau.
Psalms 23 and verse 5. Psalms 23 and 5. I'm gonna start at verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Yep. This is the valley of the shadow of death right here. America. Right? This is the valley of the dry bones. Hey, this is the place where it's really dead. Like you say, when you come out of the ways of Esau, the ways of this world, the ways of the Western ways, you become what? Living, spiritual.
It says, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table for me, before me, in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. And I was just bringing that out because the house of David don't have to eat from the table of devils, man, from Esau's table. Because the Lord already prepared us the table in the presence of our enemies. And that's what's got Esau so frustrated, because he's seeing the elect waking up, man. He's seeing like, hold on, how come these people not eating from my table no more? Right. They're calling my system out. They're telling me what I'm going to do. They're saying that they're going to have faith in their power. This was his biggest fear, is us not to eat with his ass, man. Because really, when you think about it, in the natural realm of things, right? If a king invites you to a dinner and you don't go, well, that's a disgrace, man. Yeah. You see, but see, Yahweh Shah, the King of Kings, has invited us to the true dinner, man, the marriage supper of the Lamb. So that's the invitation we're going to, not Esau's invitation to get in that karagla, man.
Right.
Yeah. When you read that parable, if I may, if you're alluding to that parable of that king bidding the individuals to the feast, well, you see a majority of people responded by saying, "Oh, I got other shit to do. Yep. I got other stuff to do. I can't make it." Which this is not the feast to turn down.
Right.
And because this truth is likened unto a feast, Isaiah 55. Come and buy bread without price and water without price. Roughly paraphrasing.
Right.
So it's a free buffet. Yep. You know how much Jake loves buffets, but here comes the spiritual buffet, which is greater than bread. Yahweh Shai said what? I'm sorry, bro. Yahweh Shai said to the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman, I have water that if you drink, you'll never thirst. So we got spiritual water and spiritual bread, which is better than physical, right? And our people don't, and it's free. right? Well, if you come to GMS, it's free. You know, other camps charge you breakdowns. The scriptures say, buy the truth and sell it not.
Right.
So, you know, we giving away the free food spiritually, just like Hawashai, you get a free loaves of bread, free fish, right? But they came just for the food. But Yahushua gave them something more valuable than that one meal. He gave them the word of life. So that shows you how people aren't spiritual. They don't value the things that ought to be esteemed higher than physical things.
All right, Matthew 24, 38, it says, whereas in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Hey, and like I said, when you eat from Esau's table, you know, it's going to be like the time of the flood. You know, now this is the ark. We're preparing to receive what? That when the doors close, receive what? The kingdom of heaven, be delivered, receive salvation. This is the same thing was happening then, it's happening now. Before that flood came. And what is not? It's not going to be water this time, it's going to be what? Fire. Another purification agent that's going to come upon the earth. But people still marrying, drinking, partying, living in mirth. But they ain't understanding that the doors of the ark is being closed right now. It's closing. Still in that grace period, but it's going to be a point in time where that grace period is going to be up.
Yeah.
Very, very soon.
Right. A lot of people are already sealed for destruction too.
That's right.
A lot of people that basically already done heard the word, because you gotta remember, it's like once the parable of the sower and the seed. Like once you hear that word that first time, you know what I'm saying? And if that seed don't take root and stay there,
right.
Or even if it does take root, but something happens to where it gets uprooted, that's it. Yep, that's it. You're on to the next. You know.
Hey, and then like I say with Ezekiel 9, it says it's gonna be marching the woods, the ones that are sighing and crying, but the others you gotta think that was inside the house of Israel. It said the other ones, they're being marked with what? The mark of destruction, getting set. So, and that's gonna, and like I said, that's gonna be old, young. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a whole bunch of Jake.
Ezekiel 9 and 4, and the Lord said unto him, verse 4, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sighed and that cried.
Now, if I can say, he said, midst of the city, midst of Jerusalem. Now, is this city right here Jerusalem? No, we're in Dallas, Texas. Jerusalem is a people, was a place. That's where, like I said, in the midst of Jerusalem. So when you're going through the cities, he's looking for the actual Israelites. All right? So that's who he's going through in the midst of. Because he said, what did the Lord say? He's going to start first in the house of Israel.
It says, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite.
To the others in my hearing, all right? To the other Israelites that basically, the preacher mentioned, just walk through, don't hear, they just let it go through and be like, okay, I heard, I know I'm an Israelite. We even got something like that, but what do they do? Still go about their day, living in the world. They don't come out of, they don't trim their way out in the world. These are the ones that stay blind.
My bad.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
They trim their way to seek love from Esau, but they don't trim their lambs.
Yep, they don't trim their lamp. They about to run out of oil. They're going to be seeking for the oil when it's too late.
Man, when you go into that word, trim, man, it basically one of the definitions is to be accepted. See, they'll be like the brother said, they'll do anything to try to be accepted by this devil,
right?
But they don't want to be accepted by the Lord, man. You see, they ain't trying to please the Lord to be accepted by him, man. Right. See, that's why a nigga will forgive Esau for anything, bro. You see, but when it comes to the Lord, they want to buck up why do we gonna do slave? You want to question the Lord, but when it comes to this fucking devil, you niggas ain't got shit to say. But it's okay, you know, fucking niggas.
Yeah, fucking that, hey, because like, you know, just playing on words, right? Even though that word trim in the Greek, means something different, like the brother just went into. But like even if you just looking at it from a face value, hey, Jake would literally trim his waist. Jake would trim his beard smooth just to be accepted by Esau's job or getting his military, But that's just a prime example of Jake trimming their waist, man. Ultimately for their enemies. But when it comes to Yahweh Bashar Shah, you don't want to do nothing that the Lord says, man.
You were mentioning in the truck when we were over there, hey, Jake, you have these other people, they'll try to travel in different ways, leave here to go to another country and try to get away from America's getting bad. They'll leave the country. They'll do all these things, but they won't accept the Lord. Hey, and like I say, it's just faith. Have faith and believe. But see, they'll rather listen and try to do things that's more physical. Like I say, relocate, you know what I'm saying? But they don't look at the faith. Faith is the thing that's hoped for, and that's what the Lord looking for. Who's gonna have faith in these days? It's gonna be a lack of faith. It is lack of faith in these days. You know what I'm saying? All these moles running around. You think they got faith? Of course not. This shit is disgusting right now.
In Psalms 10 and 4, in the GNT, the wicked do not care about the Lord. It says, in their pride, they think God doesn't matter.
Yep. That's it. Good. Hey, they don't think the Lord matters. Like you say, the Lord, they haven't looked at the work. They look at the past, Lord, like you say, oh, that was the old God. That's the Old Testament God. Hey, the Lord said he don't change. And he said his word is not to come back and won't come back forward. So the Lord will be coming out here, and he's still saying as today as he was yesterday. So he's going to come back and do what? Smite. When you go to smite, what is that doing? He's going to kill. He's going to kill a lot of you niggas out here.
Right.
Just read Ezekiel 9.
All right, going back to Ezekiel 9 and 5, it says, and to the others he said, go in my hearing, Slaki, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Hey, kill. Don't spare none of these people that don't have that mark of what that the WAP, that mark of exemption. He said kill. So these are the ones he's gonna do. He's gonna kill these you niggas out here, you spiggers. He's gonna do what? Come and bring a great massacre upon and this is gonna be a righteous indignation that's coming upon the earth. But he's gonna go through and smite. That's gonna be destruction, death. But they say, oh, the Lord is all love. The Lord is all love. That don't sound like love to me. When he said, go through the midst of the city and kill.
The Lord is telling the angels that. He's telling the angels to go. And look who he's telling to kill. Verse 6, it says, slay utterly old and young, both maid and little children and women. The Lord said, kill little children, old people, young people, maids or young women of marriageable age, you see, and women, man. You see? Just like he did during the time of the flood. You think the Lord showed mercy then? The Lord flooded babies, probably still sucking on their mama's breast, man. You see, people don't think about this stuff when they read the scriptures, man. When they read the story of the flood, when they read the story of Exodus, what the Lord did to the Egyptians. They don't have any visions, man. They can't really put themselves in the scriptures, man, and see that was horrible, man. They'll read the 10 plagues and think it just happened in a day. One plague was a day. Now, nigga, this was a period of time, man. You see, but to the Lord that's totally destroyed their kingdom. You see, just like he's gonna do with America. That's why it says in 2 Ezra 15 that the Lord is gonna set his hand a second time. Second time to recover his people. But 2 Ezra 15 says he gonna smite Egypt with plagues as before, man.
That's right.
You see, it says it says, but come not near any man whom is the mark.
Right.
Who was the mark? Yes, right. And begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Yep. In the sanctuary. Hey, begin at my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna turn. When I turn my face from them, you go through and destroy these niggas out here. All right. And we talking about you so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans. And if you basically of another nation and you are actually, if your bloodline of your father stems back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he's talking about you too. Destruction is going to come upon the earth. That's nothing to do about it. The Lord, thus saith the Lord. All right, a lot of mass death. All right, the Lord is going to come back like he did prior, like he said, when he came back with the flood. The Lord is going to come back and put the same thing, because what is he doing? He's letting your sins build upon each other. All right, now the sins have reached up to heaven. Now the Lord is going to show his work. And we know he's coming because we're measuring the time diligently. All right, we're measuring what? With a rod, with a reed. What do a reed do? It's a measurement. How do we measure? Through the scripture. This is a measuring tool right here.
Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Yep. Hey, that kind of reminds me of that movie I can think with Denzel, when that spirit kept jumping on these different people falling. You know, the Lord is going to put, you see all these people, when they do certain things, mass shooting, certain things like that, that's the spirit of that the Lord is allowed to get on that person to go do that. Now, when these times come, when like I said, when Esau collapsed the system, when there's lack of food left, all right, he's going to put all these spirits on different people, and it's going to be a madness out here, all right? And what are these people, what are these spirits going to allow to do? The Lord is going to allow them to go and what? Wreak havoc upon the earth, especially here in Babylon the Great. Mainly Babylon the Great. He's going to have them coming through, like I said, you won't be able to go and walk across the street, walk down the road, drive to the store. No, just to get a loaf of bread, you're going to have to basically stay off the highway. Just like that movie, The Road. Yeah, Bushwick. Yeah.
That bitch went 2 blocks. The whole movie was about the bitch going 2 blocks. Bro.
If I could add, hey, you be reluctant for Jake. Hey, it'll be reluctant for Jake to pray before he just, go get some gas, crank up his car, go to the grocery store. But like in the times that we coming into, bro, everybody gonna be trying to say their prayers for traveling grace and arriving mercy. But at that time, the Lord ain't gonna listen. Because what are you doing right now? You're not thinking about the Lord, man. Right. You think that your day is gonna go based off how the fuck you wanted to go off of. All right, yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna do what James talk about that. Tomorrow I'm gonna do this, tomorrow I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to this city, I'm gonna go grocery shopping, I'm gonna go to work. But the whole day you ain't pray, you ain't think about the Lord. You didn't read not one scripture, you didn't listen, But it's gonna be a life and death issue, just like you said, trying to get a piece of bread, man. Going up to the grocery store, the corner block right up next to your street, get whatever they got. Toilet tissue, Skittles, Vienna sausages.
Hey, like that movie Bird Box. Remember, the first, they were like, okay, we run out of food. Yeah. And the niggas had to do all type of, improvising just to make it to the grocery store. Yeah. But you made a good point, bro. Like, when your life is in constant peril, look at all the Psalms that David wrote when he was being persecuted by Saul. You know what I'm saying? During those few years, yo, bro. Every day probably was, every day was like, yo, damn, who gonna snitch on him? Because he didn't know who was gonna snitch on him, you know what I'm saying? Tell Saul where him and his men were. So he was just out. He was just out in the field, you know what I'm saying? To the point where he literally fled into the land of the Philistines, bro. He literally fled into the land of the arch enemy.
Yeah.
Just so he was like, man, because his own people he was in the land of Judah. He wasn't even in Benjamin. So yeah, bro, it's gonna get heavy, man. Yep. Got it.
This Proverbs 28:9 in the NLT, God distastes the prayer of a person who ignores the law. Basically, when you read it in the KJV, it says, "He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination." See, the Lord ain't gonna, like the brothers going into, man. In the times of calamity, man, when all hell breaks loose, that's gonna be the first thing these people call on. Like the scriptures say, man, they shall seek me in their affliction, man. So that's Jake for you, bro. As soon as something happens, Jake don't care about the Lord while it's all good. As soon as something happens, Jake gotta go through some shit. Then they wanna call upon the Lord. But you didn't care about the Lord when you was good. You see? Just like it says in the book of John, man, the Lord heareth not sinners, man. The Lord ain't gonna hear you niggas when you praying to the Lord, because you had time to pray and repent right now. Right. When all hell breaks loose, that's gonna be them doors of grace closing, man. And the Lord ain't gonna hear you, man. The only man he gonna hear is those men who got that mark. Right. The elect who got the mark, man. You see?
Yeah, if I can add, Psalms 91, right? The reason why the Lord's gonna camp about those you know, and ultimately deliver him up, set him on high, because what? It says, for he daily made me set his affection and love upon me.
Yep.
Daily set his love and affection upon me, man. I mean, it's every, you know, since I gave this man my truth, he's been adamantly pursuing me, man, adamantly repenting. So that's going to cause Yahweh Basham Shah, if his grace and mercy and predestination upon your spirit, that's what's going to cause him to deliver you, man. So, you want that Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endures forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
And our people have left the ways of the Lord. So that's why, like you said, we read back in Ezekiel and all these things. Hey, Lord said, if you step away from the being with this wisdom, you're gonna receive death. Death is coming upon, it's gonna cover the whole earth, right? And he's gonna leave the people blinded, 2/3 of Israel. They're gonna be in that gross darkness. What is that? Isaiah 61. They're ignorant. They're ignorant to the fact that the Lord is preparing for destruction or righteous indignation to come upon the earth, right? And they have left the ways and the laws of the Lord. And he shall leave it, shall what? Die. There's no gray area in there. So he said, now, prepare yourself now. All right? This is the time for prepping. Like we just went into trimming. Because if you don't, the Lord is going to set up for what? You to lose your wife, lose your mother, lose your husband, lose your life. All these things about to come upon the earth. It's not going to be a cakewalk that's coming upon the earth. Yeah, easy street. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna make a left up here and go straight down. No. Hell, you go down the block here, you might end up getting, somebody snatching your woman. You know what I'm saying? Taking your food. It's gonna be real bad out here. That's what we're out here prophesying, telling you. Prepare. All right. The days are Ephesians 5. The days are gonna be evil upon the earth, which we see it now. It just hasn't got. It's getting worse. Bad times are coming.
Ecclesiastes 12:1 in the NIV, it says, remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come and the years approach, when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. You see? That's why the scriptures constantly say, man, seek the Lord while he may be found, man.
Right.
You see? We got to seek the Lord now, like it said, before the days of trouble come, before the years approach, when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. But these people still find pleasure in the days. They can still go do whatever they want to. They got their little, you know what I'm saying? The shit to get them buy cigarettes, weed, or whatever it is that Jake like to get his fix on, man.
Right.
They still have pleasure in the days, but when the Lord take that away and they ain't got no pleasure in the days, then they gonna be fucking through. You see? All that time you spent playing when you should have been taking this grace period seriously, it's gonna bite you in your ass, man. Then it's gonna be Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20 on down, bro.
Yeah.
You see? That's gonna be live in effect, man. And the Lord is gonna laugh at your calamities, man. Because he's gonna be the one who bring all of it on you.
Bro, just imagine, you know how you have a bad dream, you wake up and be like, man, that was a terrible dream. Then you go about your day, I can go to run to Chick-fil-A, you know what I'm saying? I can call up my girl, you know what I'm saying? I can get what you want to do tonight, you know, where you want to eat at. I don't know where you want to eat at, you know, it don't matter, girl. You got all these different options, comfortability. Just imagine when that nightmare is gonna be reality. You're gonna wake up and you're still gonna be like, damn, we almost out of food. No food. Where can I get some food from? You can't go to the damn store.
Man, don't forget about these medicines, man.
Yep.
You got a lot of these people with ailments, man. Choke kids. Whatever nigga can't get that medication they need for their little baby. The fucking
Right.
child suffering. Then what, man? Then niggas ain't gonna be smiling then, man.
Right.
You see? Jay walked by walking down the street all day playing, man. Like Craig stole Smokey ass, man. You see? Jay think it's a game, man.
Right. You running around and you're, like you said, your child talking about what's gonna do. I need my medicine at the same time that his mama, she needs her depression medicine.
They gonna be like John Q. They gonna be on that John Q shit, but ain't gonna be no medicine. Nigga, they ain't gonna be nothing for them, man. It's just gonna be suffering and death, man. It's like it, bro.
Hey, no, this is true. This is what's coming. So it's high time to wake up out of sleep.
No, go ahead, bro.
This the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 21 in the GNT, because you had mentioned earlier about, how this ain't no cakewalk. This is Sirach 21 and verse 10 in the GNT. I'm gonna start at verse 9 in the GNT. A group of people who have no respect for the law is like a pile of kindling. Like sticks, like little faggots, right? It says they will meet. Oh, damn, sloggy. Well, that's the technical term, Esau. They will meet.
That nigga don't give a damn.
When it comes down, he don't care.
That nigga made the word.
That nigga gonna hit the big red button.
Yeah, he made the word. He gonna get mad at you because you say. They will meet a fiery end. I'm gonna read it again. A group of people who have no respect for the law is like a pile of kindling. They will meet a fiery end. The road that sinners walk is smooth and paved, but it leads to the world of the dead.
Hey, lead to the world of the dead. All right, when you're comfortable in this world, that's going to lead to the world of the dead. Because that's going to lead to what? Because, like I said, this world is about to end. When something about to end, that means it's over. All right? Esau's about to lose, but yet you want to dwell in the congregation of the dead, following these ways, these philosophies. All right? Yahushua said, roughly paraphrasing, give unto Caesar Caesar, but give unto Yahweh, give it to Yahweh. We're supposed to give it to Yahweh Yahushua. Right? What are we doing out here on the highways and byways? We're laying our life down. We're giving our life up to the Lord. What are you doing? Even the ones that back there, like you say, might be smoking a blunt, playing the game, listening to us in the back. Hey, I'm listening to the word. No. Get your ass out. Get your ass up. Go preach. Put the blunt down. All right? That's the thing of getting started. But if you don't, you're going to fall back into that congregation of the dead. The Lord's trying to wake you up, but He's going to keep you blinded. That's when you ask for repentance, you pray. You tell the Lord, hey, Lord, Baba Kashah, cleanse my mind from these ways that I'm doing. Help me follow your way. Give me more understanding. Because if you don't, it's going to lead to destruction. That's what one thing we try to tell you. There's no gray areas now. It's getting to a point where it's going to be life or death. It's going to be life or death. So if you want to continue in the ways of the world, hey, just like the time of Noah, when those doors closed upon the ark, right? It was straight destruction. But the ones that was in the ark received what? Salvation. I got a chance to live. The ones that were on the outside of the ark, did you read in the scripture where it said, hey, you had some people that they actually lived and they was okay? They waited till the flood water dropped down? No. The Lord did something upon the earth that had never been done. He's going to do the same thing now. Set upon the earth, especially in Babylon the Great, what? Fire. Starting with what? Thermonuclear destruction. Before you even get to that, hell, you got to get through for these people that's going to be through. If you are the pestilence and the famine don't get you, the missiles will. Let's say you get through the missile. Hey, the chariot's going to get you. That's the thing. There's no way out.
Sirach, Salakia, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine.
Hey, and you got to think the Lord is setting it up because you got now hit 8 billion people upon the earth. 8 billion people. Now you're like, well, why are so many people upon the earth? The Lord is sending back all these souls upon the earth for that great day of the Lord. But what do you say? What is it for you? If that day of the Lord is gonna be darkness and not light. Now, is you gonna receive salvation when the day of the Lord is upon you, or you're gonna receive death? As I'm gonna keep reiterating, there's no gray area.
It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, but the other that escape the sword, Salakia, the other that escape the hunger, shall the sword destroy.
Hey, and they said one of the worst things to die from, not eating. Your body start eating itself, right? Drowning. Lord, drowning is one of the worst, they say. Hell, you can't breathe. Your lungs getting filled up with water. Then you're gonna bring forth, like say today's day, you're gonna be starving, can't eat, your body eating itself, Like I say, you're gonna be laying there, flies flying around you. You ain't gonna be able to move. Like I say, the fly gonna hit, land on your eyeball. You can't move. Then, like you say, what else? Fire. Getting burned alive.
Man.
And you have Jake, they'll be like, hey, the Lord, if I know I'm coming back in the kingdom, you know, I can just get burnt up. Lord, hey, that'll be real quick. You don't know how long that torture is gonna be.
Lamentations 4 and verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Yep.
For thee,
Better than that. Like I say, hey, that's gonna be the worst one to receive. They can be like, man, I got out of the worst type of death. Then the sword is gonna come and get you. There's no way around it. Hey, the Lord is setting up, and hey, it is a way around it. It is a way around it by basically coming back to the ways of the Lord. All right, having that faith, trimming your way, setting up for what? Repentance, asking the Lord to deliver you when these times come. But when those the chambers and the chariots close, it's going to be what? Destruction is going to come upon the earth. What is that? I said 20. The chambers.
I got you.
Can you read up one verse on that?
all right, this is Lamentations 4 and 8. The visage of their visage is blacker than a coal.
Yeah, the visage is somebody's face. Go ahead.
It says, they are not known in the streets. It says their skin cleaveth to their bones.
Yeah. Whenever you party and BS and you got plenty of time to, you know, go out and, you know, live voluptuously, live daintily, right? But it says their visage is blacker than coal. Like, they gonna be down bad, man. Like, some of these pictures right here, you know, or, you know, the pictures of, like, whenever you see the, you know, send 25 cents to the Hamite, you know, out there, and they, you know, they be all, you know, dark, like, you know what I'm saying? You lose your vitality when you starving to death, you know what I mean? And can you read a little bit more?
It says their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick.
Yeah. So you lose all your muscle. You basically just literally like skin and bones. You got a little bit of blood pumping through your veins, but you know, you could look at somebody and tell, damn, that person's starving.
Right. Yeah.
They finna like, you know, people like, they get like different types of cancer and shit, and you know what I mean? And you can tell like their eyeballs start sucking into their head. They look like they weigh 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? They basically look like their arms look like sticks. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted you to get that verse above it, because like you said, bro, this the worst way, one of the worst ways to die. You know what I'm saying? It's the slowest way. One of the slowest ways too.
You do, like I say, your muscle mass, you about to perish, you ain't moving. Now you see that when you see people, I've seen people in the world that stop eating and just basically get ready to perish. They don't want to move, but you got to think, you need that energy. You don't receive that, you just start, what they say, withering away.
Yeah.
You start withering away.
Yeah. Oh,
And this is not going to be voluntary.
you can kill somebody too. If somebody's dying of hunger, and you give them like a hamburger or some shit, they'll die because like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying like you try to give them like a slice of fucking pizza or some nachos and a cup of water, they'll give up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to resuscitate them. It's a process. You don't just eat eat a turkey sandwich and then just like get just like a sensory bean. Like, nah, your body is deprived, so that shit takes time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, you got it, bro.
Body ain't too weak to process that food.
Yep. You got to give them IVs. That's why they be in the hospital for weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is like a process. You got to gain your strength back. Yeah, bro. That's no joke. You know?
All right, it says, verse 9, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, but these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field. It says, the hand,
No, that's
it. Verse 9, it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, but these pine away, stricken through for wants of the fruits of the field.
Hey, what we just say, whether we're pining away, bro, would you want to go through that? Hey, and you fast for a certain period of time, but I can just say this, you fast for a period of time, hey, like I say, your body, it starts correcting and building, you know, and regenerating the cells and different things. But the thing is, you still need to start regenerating more later on. You got to eat. So if you don't eat, the body basically starts saying, well, I got to eat something. Because when your body goes through starvation, you eat every 3 to 4 hours, your body's going to basically have that memory, like, I want to eat, I need to eat. You know, I got to take something in. If you don't eat for a certain period of time, it will hold on to certain things. But if you go for, like say, for a large amount of time, they're going to say, well, I ain't got nothing to hold on to. Now I got to start eating myself. I got to start basically taking in. So what's going to happen? Like you said, the blood going to slow down. Your blood cells, your different cells is going to start dying off. So now your body just basically slowly, like a lamp, just basically dimming. It's dimmer and dimmer.
Dehydration sets in, all those things.
All right, verse 10, the hand of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. They were their meat and the destructions of the daughters of my people.
Hey, if I can say too, hey, when you go to the scripture, just look at it like when you see these things, especially in the scripture, who are the main ones that basically get to a point when it's famine out there? They start looking at their babies like a piece of chicken, like a steak. To be the what? The woman. Hey, that weaker vessel, they're gonna be the first ones to say, you know what, we gotta do something, we gotta eat. But what do? They look at their babies. Look at this other person's baby. There was a movie called Alive. I think it was Alive. It's a true story. Their plane crashed. What did their point? They got to a point and said, we need to eat. What did they start doing? They started turning people over, eating their butt cheeks. That's how bad you get when your body starts to break down for a lack of food.
Jacob get simple and say, well, why they just didn't go look for food? Nigga, they did. It wasn't shit left, bro. Nope. Just like it's gonna be in this time. You gotta imagine how bad it's gonna be for you to have those thoughts, for people to have those thoughts of eating their own children, man. Right. You see? You already know they done went and searched and tried to find food elsewhere. They didn't find nothing, man. Only thing left is people. And people gonna start eating people, man. You see? These women gonna start eating their children. These women got 8, 9, 10 children that they just use for child support benefit and government assistance. Man. It's gonna be like that they cussing out in the stores, and we see it all the time. In Walmart, cussing them out, calling them little B's and H's, man. You see? Little niggas, man. Niggas. Speaking to them, man, hey, bro, they showed these women that, hey, like they said, they like the ostrich in the wilderness, man. You see? Oh, it ain't gonna be nothing for these women, especially now these women that eat these kids, man.
Bro, the woman that, when the dude got shot at the gas station, saw that video, that woman took off and ran into the store and left her two babies behind. Oh yeah, she would eat that baby if she got to that point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Hey, when things get bad, hey, people will go to they'll go to certain heights to feed their bellies. This is coming. And then we know ultimately through the Lord that these things are gonna happen. But yet you better, hey, when you go through these things, look at who your ruler is. Look who's controlling the world. Esau, so-called white man. And he's prepping for these things to happen. And he's gonna go down and you know what I'm saying, down in his bunkers, up into his little space cities and shit like that, and leave you here like that. It was the movie, like all these movies that you see. He basically showed you these certain things. Elysium, I think that was the name of it, with Matt Damon. Yeah, they was up there just looking down at the people, starving, going through things. That's the same thing Esau's preparing to do today.
Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 19 in the NLT. The land will be blackened by the fury of the Lord of heaven's armies. The people will be fueled for the fire, and no one will spare even his own brother. They will attack their neighbor on the right, but he will still be hungry. They will devour their neighbor on the left, but will not be satisfied. In the end, they will even eat their own children.
Go. They can eat their own children. Like you say, they can come to, hey, you're gonna take your neighbor's stuff, kicking in doors, but yet when you receive food like that, how long is that gonna last? Are you gonna be satisfied? Oh, you're gonna be like, oh, I broke in. He made you have a loaf of bread. You'll take your neighbor's life for a loaf of bread. Then you're gonna eat that probably within a day or two. Then you're gonna be right back home.
Yeah.
Going looking at your babies again.
Yeah.
So these are the things. Hey, and this is in the scriptures. You see this, Esau showed you this in that movie. All right? Yeah, it's actually, you go and pull up certain events in history, these things that happen. It's happened in the scripture. You know?
It's 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver.
Bro, this is Jake. All right? This is Jake. You know what I'm saying? Samaria, the northern kingdom. When they were being sieged. Selling an ass's head. Who want to eat an ass's head? A donkey's head.
Ain't got
Right?
no
We
meat
don't
on it.
got no meat. We even eat the eyeballs and the cheeks. That's it.
You're not supposed to anyway.
Nope.
Like, you
Yeah.
don't supposed to eat. That's not what you do. You got to the point like, damn, bro. Shit.
Yeah.
Eating doo-doo, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
It says, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a calf of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver.
Bro, you eating shit for being silver food. Bird doo-doo.
Yeah, and that talks about how the inflation, because the food was so scarce, niggas was paying top dollar just to eat shit.
Yep.
Damn. Because that's all they had within their city. They were trading within their city. That's all they had.
Yep. They put cut their food supply off with like tariffs and stuff. So basically, food couldn't get to the city.
Yeah.
If food can't get to the city, what do you do then? And when you look at Venezuela some years ago, if you look and see what was going on when it was a collapse, what did they do? When they tried to bring in food trucks and stuff, they couldn't make it to the city or to their destination because they're gonna get what? They're gonna get robbed. That's how. Hey, this is how things gonna be. You think they're gonna be constantly trucks running around delivering food at that time, knowing wherever they go, they're gonna get stopped or robbed, setting up blocks to basically blow out the tires. There's nothing new under the sun. And this is things that are coming. You got to spend so much money due to, like I say, hyperinflation just to get a piece of bread, a bag of rice. Man, I spent $300 on a bag of rice. Just saying, this is what's coming.
And then you got to take into account that America is the most heavily armed country that's ever existed in the annals of time, man. So you have famine, hyperinflation, mass unemployment, plus, the most heavily armed country in the world. What does that look like? That spells Jeremiah 30 and 6, right? A time of trouble, well, that's Daniel 12 and 1, right? Or Jacob's trouble, a time of trouble such as never was since there's a nation, man. So really, we can't, even though we're going through history in the scriptures, right? And we're going into different time periods of where, our people suffered famine, where the Lord struck the place with famine. In these times that we're coming into in the very near future, this is going to look like a cakewalk, man. What we're reading right now.
Right.
So this is why we push repentance over here, man, and having faith in Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why David said in Psalms 37, Salakia. But David said in Psalms 37, for what? I have been old, I have been young, now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging bread, man. So we're pushing, we're striving, if it's the Lord's will, for us to be a part of the elect, because the elect is going to eat for the covenant's sake. The Lord ain't going to kill every Israelite but by famine.
Right.
If that's the case, well then, the covenant he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will be null and void. So we know that there will be Israelites eating in the time of famine. Right? But there's particular requirements that's required on your part, man, to even hope that you can partake of that. And that's repenting, right? If you're a man, come out here to the highways and byways, learn, right? Teach your people, set your own household in order. Yes, like that. So going back, 2 Kings 6 and 26. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee?
What you want me to do?
Independent woman.
You know, independent woman, what you want me to do? You know, the Lord ain't helping you. How can I help you? I'm in the same place you at right now. What can I do? It came like hell. I'm hungry too. Bro, hey, what we're telling you, these things that are coming, this is second Ezra 16,
Okay.
18. End of the sorrow.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Okay, verse 17. He said what? It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
That was the king was saying, like, hey lady, you telling me to help you? Yeah, woe is me too. Who is going to deliver me in these days to come? All right, that's what we're saying. All right, that was Ezra saying it at that time. We know who's going to deliver us. We got to have that faith. But like that was the king who was telling the woman though. If the Lord ain't saving you, and you saying, woe is me, help me, king, what can I do right now? Because these things are going to come again, all right? All these different scourges, scourges, and all this is coming upon the earth as you see today. You know what I'm saying? People are losing their jobs. You know, even at my job, I just heard some more people got laid off. Hey, all these things that are coming about, it's going to happen. They were trying to say with so many jobs out there. No, it ain't jobs out there like you would think. But yeah, you be like, every time I look up, this place hired, this place hired. No, I mean, you got a job that 2 slots, but you got 300 people, 300 to 1,000 people applying for. Come on.
Yeah, then they're petty low-end jobs. Those are the ones that hire, like jobs that, you know, in times past to where, you know, you aspire to try to, you know, be it or do it. You know, like those positions there, they're not even hiring those anymore, man. Nope. Like a lot of schools, especially out here in the Dallas district, Fort Worth area, you know, with the school districts, they're letting a lot of teachers go. You know, the particular profession I was in, they're letting a lot of healthcare, you know, people go. Firemen, policemen, you know, as a matter of fact, early at the beginning part of this year, they called it an exodus, a police exodus up there in Chicago. A mass swarm of policemen, they either got fired or they resigned, man.
A lot of them, New York and Chicago, are moving to Florida, trying to get jobs. Hey, so and then the jobs you get, you probably ain't making enough because what? The price of living going up. Inflation is happening. So who is going to deliver you when things constantly get inflated higher and higher, get worse? Right?
2 Ezra 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
You see how many beginnings was going to happen? The beginning. Was anything you just read was some beginning to make you smile and say, that's going to be pretty good? No, everything you heard in the beginning is going to happen that's up to come, all right? That's to be, what, close to you or your home near you is going to be the beginning of something that's going to be like, damn, woe is me. The beginning of sorrow, beginning of famine, pestilence, all these things that are going to come upon the earth. The lack of bread, that's a major thing, man. Who up here in downtown Dallas got a farm over here? I got a farm in my back. No, you're gonna be living in an apartment. You come down, you can't plant anything. You ain't got nothing but concrete. But then your government, you do have something that somewhere you can plant something. They gonna come take it from you. But they say you don't supposed to have it.
And that's a curse, because scriptures speak about somewhere in the book of Sirach, make not thyself pretty much a beggar upon another man's table. You know, like that. And that proves that we're under the curses, man, because we got to go to our enemies in the want of all things.
Right.
We got to, you know, to a certain extent, you know, at least now, you know, go to Esau for his grocery stores or whatnot. Now, we know ultimately at the end of the day, it's the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah, that feeds us, right? But it's a curse to even go to another man and then He's another nation too.
Right.
That the Lord hates. And you got to go to that nigga to eat. You got to go to Walmart, Costco, you know, Tom Thumb. That's a reproach, man. So any Israelite that's trying to stay here, man, to hell with you, bro.
Yeah. And then if you go and say, hey, I got to go to him for the one of all things, or say the nation that the Lord say he hate, you don't believe it, go to Malachi and read. Malachi 1, right? If you go to him, he can be like, okay, you want to keep receiving this bread and this rice from me, you got to receive something that's the size of a grain of rice. And you got to put it in you, and I'm going to be your God. That's what it's going to all boil down to. Now, the thing is what manner of man will you be when these times come? Because the Lord said, hey, these people are going to receive this. Revelation 13, small, great, rich, poor, free, and bond. Who did I leave out? Did I leave anybody out? You got the small, you got the great, you know, from your NBA, from your professional sports players, your actors, all these celebrities, to the poorest man out in the streets. These homeless people, all right? Free and bond, walking around here free, and we're not in the cell, but yet then you got something in the cell. Everybody gonna have to have a choice.
This is it. This is Sirach 40 and verse 28 in the GNT. My child, don't live the life of a beggar. It is better to die than to beg. If you have to depend on someone else for your food, you are not really living your own life. So that proves, man, well, this ain't life. I'm gonna read that part again. If you have to depend on someone else for your food, right? This is your food. You're gonna put it inside of your body, right? But you don't know where it came from. He says you are not really living your own life. Why? Because scripture says that the bread is a man's life. So you eating another man's bread, you gotta go to this dude. You're not living life, man. You see? And that's why it says in the book of Colossians, 3rd chapter, right? Hamashiach, who is our life, when he shall appear, shall give us a life, man. Because this ain't no life. We are living a beggar's life. We went into the parable on Saturday, right? Luke chapter 16, the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. You see, Lazarus, he was a beggar, right? Lazarus, that symbolizes us as a nation, man. Us so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. We don't have our own grocery stores.
Nope.
You know, so, yeah.
Hey, the other nations got the stores in your place. Oh, so when you read that, you just think about it. We are already in there. You don't see no gardens around here. No, you got to run to the store for everything. And then, like you say, hey, the prices are going up. Then it's going to be less food on the shelves. Things will get tight. If you ain't got no food, you ain't got the trucks running, what's going to happen? You're going to start losing more and more jobs, too. Gas will be going out. Gas going out. You got to think. Electricity. Blackouts are going to be happening. This is going to be a bad, this place is going to be, it's going to jump from a top tier, basically top tier country to a third world country in a matter of like that, snap. Because we see the process happening today. It's I can't think of her name, Piglia. She's a professor. We pull up Professor Piglia. She always talk about the breakdown of a kingdom. And one of the things when you see when the kingdom is basically on its way to on the way down is moles running around, all the decadence. These things are the money being depreciated, devalued. That's the same thing we're seeing here in Babylon the Great.
Yeah, I think she said it was 7 steps to it, right?
7 steps.
The 7th one was decadence, which we're in right now, which was the same time that Noah was in. If I may add.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can't think of her first name, but she's a professor, Piglia.
Yep.
And that's what she goes into. She's goes into history, and that's what one of the things for every country or every empire that has basically failed. On their downfall, there was those 7 steps that basically they go through to what? To basically become trodden down. And we know when this country goes down, what's next? Kingdom of heaven. So through the Spirit of the Lord, hey, bring it on. Lord willing, we be delivered in those times.
I found it. Can I read the 7 steps here?
Sure.
It says it's stages of an empire. the age of pioneer and culturalists, the age of conquest, the age of commerce, the age of affluence, the age of intellect, the age of decadence. What we're in right now, the age of decline and collapse.
Right.
And that's it right there. That's what we're playing on tables, like the priest just said, man. We're in that age of decadence and collapse, man. The dollar, right? The jobs, all right? All the things that kept this machine going is now, we are now in that decline, man. Heavy now.
Yep.
All right? You got it.
So Rock 11 and 25 in the GMT, when things are going well, people don't think about hard times. It says, and when things are going badly, they forget about prosperity. You see, as the brother said, man, this place gonna go from having it from good. It's gonna go from riches to rags, man, and that's gonna be a hard fall, especially for America, man. You see, because America is a place of abundance, a place of where you can just get it when you want to, man. Everything is available at every hour. Food, sex, whatever, cigarettes, whatever these people want, they can get it. They can get it, man. You see. So when the Lord snatched that away, that's gonna be a hard fall for these people, man. These people are used to eating 12 damn times a day. You get up in the morning and eat some damn hot chips or some shit.
Right.
Nigga eating throughout the whole damn day. Then eat lunch. Nigga eat breakfast. Then eat between breakfast and lunch. Then eat lunch. Then eat between lunch and dinner time.
Man.
Eat dinner. Then a nigga still eating after that, man.
Yeah.
So imagine when the Lord snatched that shit away, man. That's gonna be a hard fall for these people.
Right.
That's why when you see on like that show, my 600-pound life, when they go to the doctor, that doctor down there in H-Town, he tell them, he tell them about their diet. It's hard for them niggas. It's hard for them niggas to stick to that diet. You gotta cut your calories down. But them niggas be through.
Damn.
That shit hard, bro. So imagine how hard this shit gonna be for these people, man.
Yeah. Friday eating salary sticks.
God, yeah, if I could just add a quick point too, because obesity leads to diabetes, you know, and when you Google it, it's been a while since I Googled it, but damn near over half the population of the United States has either type 1 or type 2 diabetes. So, like fasting, like having to go just even don't even mention 24 hours, just having to go 12 hours, 6 hours, depending upon the severity of diabetes. That right there is going to put a lot of people in a diabetic coma, and we already know the 911 system, forget about it. So they're not finna come pump you up with D50, you know, strong dextrose and glucose. No, your ass is finna be there sitting in a diabetic coma, and eventually you're gonna die. So the Lord got you people trapped, man. James the 5th chapter, he says, for what? You have fattened yourselves for the day of slaughter. So this is gonna be a fat sacrifice in the land of Basra, man.
If I may add too, just like the priest said, this is the beginning of sorrows. What's that? Ecclesiastes 7 says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning." Right? So we coming into that beginning of sorrows. But what is it? It's the end of our captivity, man.
Yeah.
You see? So this is why the men of the Lord rejoice, man, because we at the end of this thing, man. But the beginning of sorrows is going to take effect, man. It's already happening. But you got it.
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes 12, verse 3. It say, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because there are few."
Yep. Like going into the point that's being made, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep rolling in that, you know, because ultimately we can see that America ain't the move no more. You know, all this shit is coming to an end.
Right.
And this last, they call it Q3, Q4, these last few months of the year are about to get very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we had the Fed now that just came out, right? Which ultimately everybody's going to end up adopting that at some point. So Esau's going to have to do something. There's going to have to be something that persuades the people to want to hop onto this new system. And more than likely, right, it's going to be a calamity, right?
Right.
So, you know, our spiritual spidey senses, is tingling.
That's right.
You know, Baba Kishah, you read that again?
This is Sirach, Flaki. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 3. "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because there are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened."
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of work. You know, a lot of people finna get laid off. You know, and the mirth of this place is coming to an end as well. You know, but it all links up with what's being brought out. Ultimately, this place is swirling the drain.
That's right.
You know, which is why we have no investment. We don't give a shit about this place.
Right.
All of our time, energy, and effort is going into these scriptures, man.
That's right.
Right.
Because ultimately, that's our defense. The scriptures talk about wisdom being a defense. Matter of fact, we might as well pull it. I think that's Proverbs 8. Right? Wisdom being a defense and money being a defense.
That's Ecclesiastes.
That's Ecclesiastes?
Yeah, the second one.
But yeah, the point being, right, you can have all the money in the world, you have the best job in the world, you have a nice 401k, some nice investments, but at the end of the day, it all leads to the MOTB. Baba Kashab.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, even as money is a defense.
Right, and wisdom, according to the scriptures, is the fear of the Lord. And just how Noah feared the Lord when he built the ark, that fear of the Lord led to him being the inheritor of the planet Earth.
Right.
Right. You know, him and his seed. Baba, shall you read that one more time?
God. This is Ecclesiastes 7:12, where it says, for wisdom is a defense, even as money is a defense.
Yeah.
But the excellency of knowledge is that the wisdom preserveth the life of him that hath it.
Right. So this wisdom, the fear of the Lord, right, which is made manifest in us coming out here and teaching, right, or you know, becoming apt to teach, building yourself up to teach, right? That's a product of fearing the Lord. That's the wisdom, and that wisdom is better than anything else this world has to offer. Right. You know, crypto, gold, silver. You know what I mean? Land. Now those things have a particular, you know, benefit, right, on a carnal level. But again, it all leads up to the MOTB, right? It all leads up to this, right? Which is why Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, just quoting Micah 2:10, right? He said, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." You know, this is not the end all be all. This is where everything is headed. So we're in the spirit of getting the hell up out of this place.
Right.
You got it, bro.
In Ecclesiastes, same verse. Ecclesiastes 7, now started 11 in the NLT. It says, wisdom is even better when you have money. It says both are a benefit as you go through life. It says wisdom and money can get you almost anything, but only wisdom can save your life.
Yep. That's it. Yep. Wisdom leads to life.
Yep.
And that makes me think of, I believe it's Sirach, the first chapter, where it talks about the fear of the Lord driveth away wrath, roughly paraphrasing. You know, the scriptures talk about, you know, the Lord, matter of fact, I don't want to butcher it. Psalms 147.
I got the original John I just opened up to it. That's the spirit. This is Sirach 1:21. The fear of the Lord driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath.
Right. And that's mercy. You got it.
No, that's pretty much plain on table. You know, this is that covering, you know, that we may have, that the secret chambers, man. Okay, where when all these things started to befall really heavy out here, the only safe place, the only secret chamber is going to be this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why Scripture says, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability, keep you stable-minded in the times that we're approaching, right? Because people aren't going to have answers to what's happening out here, man. And people are going to lose their mind. They're going to lose their wits, okay? And you're going to see a bunch of bug-outs out here, man. So, but us men of the Lord who know the story, who was given those secrets, we be able to measure the time diligently. Okay, so we know in order what's going to happen next. Okay, this was written to happen. Okay, that's probably okay. So we see that 2 Esdras 15 happening. Okay, that's right now we in Revelation 13:16, which is coming up. You see? So this is that knowledge and that wisdom that's going to give us that stability in that time.
Yeah. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, right? And the fear of the Lord is pleasure. You know, mercy. Matter of fact, can we read that Psalms 147:11?
This is Psalms 147, verse 11. It says, Yahweh Shem Shai taketh pleasure in them that fear him.
Right, because the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, he wants to be feared. You know, the Apostle Gabar always hits that point home. All right? Yahweh Shem Shai wants to be feared. That's why he's getting ready to do what he's getting ready to do on the planet Earth. There's going to be a healthy fear of the Most High that continues on forevermore after we get ready to witness what he's getting ready to do.
says, Yahweh Shem Shai taketh pleasure in them that fear him, and those that hope in his mercy.
Right, and that's the category that we are trying to align ourselves in. You know, mercy, all right, like the brother brought out, or he roughly paraphrased Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. These are going to be hot commodities, all right, in the days to come. You know, and again, this is why we're doing what we're doing. We're investing in those things, right? Because those things are about to go up in value.
That's right.
You got it.
No, yeah, this was just going off what the priest said. This is Jeremiah 5:22. I'm gonna get this. This is King James. This is it says, "Fear ye not me, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand of a bound of the sea for perpetual decree, that it cannot pass, even though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Though they war, they cannot pass over it." So all these things, these miraculous wonders that we see in the earth, the Lord created. So the Lord saying, you see all that I've done and you fear not me? Right. That's what the priest said. You know, all throughout the scriptures, one thing is a theme throughout every book throughout the scriptures: fear of the Lord.
No, that's it. That's it.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 22, because you're just going into how wisdom is the fence. But you have to be learned and trained in using wisdom, and that's another benefit for the elect in the time of this grace period, right? With us catching hell, going through our trials and tribulations, and the Lord putting us in particular situations that may be with your job, your family, or friends, or whatever. You know, random person in the world. The Lord puts us in different situations to where now, as He's given us the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding, now we're being trained to use it, ultimately to train us for Jacob's trouble. Now, this is Sirach chapter 22 and verse 16 in the GNT. A wooden beam can be put, and you got it, bro. A wooden beam can be put into a building so firmly that an earthquake cannot shake it loose. A person can be trained to use reason and good sense so well that he keeps his head when a crisis comes.
Man, yep. The scriptures talk about being immovable, you know, and man, when you think about it, these scriptures, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, the correct understanding of the breakdowns, the prophecies, right, which we got, you know, from our elder apostles on down, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
None of these other doctrines make sense. Christianity don't make sense. Islam don't make sense. When you really line these things up, it's all confusion. It's all madness. That's why the truth, what we have, is so valuable. Because when all hell breaks loose, we understand what's happening. We understand why it's happening. You know, and we have faith in what Yahweh Shem Shai is doing. You know, and that's going to lead to a confidence. You know, being immovable in the face of the MOTB, in the face of persecution. You know, this is it, right? You know, this truth checks all the boxes. You know, historically, you know, the deliverance, right? As far as being delivered by the chariots, you know, from on high. How else are we gonna get the hell out of here?
Right.
You know. Y'all had anything?
One more verse.
Yeah, come on.
Verse 17. I'm gonna read the latter part of 16. It says, a person can be trained to use reason, and when you go into that word trained, or discipline, well, that's what it goes into, is discipline, or correction, or chastisement. That's how the Lord trains us. It's by putting these chastisements upon us, right? That's why David said in Psalms 119, like verse 71, he says, it is good that I have been afflicted, that way I may learn thy statutes.
Right.
You see?
Yep.
So
it's like, if I could just add, like in sports, you have training camp, right? Like in boxing or in football, right? Especially right now, it's actually like training camp season. Like in the NFL, in order to prepare for the actual season, for the actual games, they have a training camp that starts up anywhere from 6 weeks, you know, leading up to the season. Right. You know, you have training camp, then you have the preseason games, which are like scrimmages. That's exactly what we're going through in the spirit. Right. You know, Sirach the 2nd chapter. You know, you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Roughly paraphrasing. That's that training that training camp. We're in training camp right now. But the game the game starts. I mean, we're in the game right now, right? We're catching hell right now. We battling infirmities, Satan fucking with our minds. But ultimately, the real game starts during Jacob's trouble, when that MOTB is on the scene.
Our temptation.
Our temptation.
It says, a mind that thinks things through intelligently is like a firm wall, finely decorated. Small stone, and that's why Isaiah 13 and 16 and 12, it says what? I will make a man more precious than a golden wedge of Ophir. Because the elect men, they're not going to be, with their hands on their loins like every other man. Their faces gathering blackness. They looking scared as hell, moving timid throughout the earth, hiding over here, hiding over. No, they're going to be moving with boldness, man, through wisdom. So it says, like Denzel off of what's that movie? Book of Eli, the water. It said he was thinking things intelligently, man. Ultimately, he had that faith.
They blind.
Yeah. It says small stones on top of a wall will not stay up when the wind blows. And a person whose stupid ideas have made him timid will not be able to stand up to frightening situations. And those stupid ideas are these other doctrines, man. Sleeping with a white woman is the MOTB. That's a stupid idea. So you're going to be scared as hell when this shit really do come out, man. When FEMA camps set up in your neighborhood.
Yep. Everything outside of this truth is a stupid damn idea.
Right.
All the ideologies and philosophies of Esau are very stupid. They're very low level, And when you come into the truth, you begin to realize that. Growing up in America, growing up in America's educational system, right? Going to school, right? Some brothers, man, went to college, right? You're programmed to admire and worship all these different ideologies of Esau Edom. But when you come into the truth and you get into the scriptures, you quickly realize that Esau is a goddamn fool. Ultimately, everything he's doing is just a bad knockoff of what already is.
All right. Isaiah 34 and 16, it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
Yep.
None shall meet her mate.
Right, talking about the prophecies. Bible shall you read that one more time?
This is Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
Right, and Baba Gashah, if a brother could get that word read in the blue letter, because I believe that word read goes into understanding. Right? Proverbs, I think it's 3 and 5, with all like get understanding. So not only are we just vainly looking at the scriptures, reading the scriptures, right, nodding our head, but we're actually seeking out the understanding of the scriptures. That's what that precept is telling you to do. Right? Because ultimately you can read all damn day till your face is blue. Right. If you don't understand what it is that you're reading, it's all vanity.
Yep. I mentioned Proverbs 3. It says, lean not on to your own understanding. All right, you're supposed to lean on the understanding of the Lord and ask Him to basically open up your mind and receive this wisdom. Because what it says, wisdom and knowledge is the stability of our time, strength of our salvation. So the wisdom that the Lord has presented to us to receive, that is strengthening us spiritually to receive what? Salvation, which is at hand.
Anybody have that word read?
Yeah, this is that word read in Isaiah 34 and 16 is H71:21 for Ra. It says to call out, to recite, to proclaim, to read out loud to oneself, to summon, invite, call, commission.
Hey,
That's that word read.
like I say, He said to call out. One thing what we're calling out is these prophecies, and it's read is that none of these things are going to fail. We have faith that these prophecies are going to come in hand, right? Because as mentioned, the Bible is a measuring rod. We have seen the past, we have seen the present, and now we're seeing the future. We're going to see the future, all right? And the Lord thus said, the Lord, these things are going to happen, all right? Jacob's trouble is going to happen, all right? All these things as far as, like I said, the missiles, the chariots that's going to come deliver the elect, all these things are going to come about. How do we know? Because we pulled out the book and we read, and the Lord opened our minds up to receive His understanding. Now we're calling it out, being what? Prophets. All right? Walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's it. You had we passed that. We can jump in this second as 15.
We can start from the top.
2nd Ezra 15. Start from the top. Yeah. 2nd Ezra 15, starting from 1.
Yeah.
Behold, speak now to the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Right. Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Right? Prophecy. Pro meaning before, beside meaning to say. In other words, tell my people what's getting ready to happen on the planet Earth. That's what we're out here to do. We're out here to declare the prophecies. Right? And that again, this message is to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Right.
However, there is destruction that we're out here to proclaim as well. Primarily the destruction of America. And that includes the judgment, all right, and the prophecies that were prescribed for you heathen nations as well. Right, which is destruction, which is slavery. Right? We're not out here to tell you that you're going to be delivered. If you're a heathen, you're not going to be delivered.
Right.
According to the scriptures, only the nation of Israel is going to receive salvation. Right? Isaiah 45:17, Romans 9. Right? But a Christian will come up here and try to lecture you till you blue in the face that all the nations can make it. And that's because y'all don't understand what the hell you read.
All right.
This is Isaiah 34:1 in the NLT. It says, "Come here and listen, O nations of the earth. Let the world and everything in it hear my words. For the Lord is enraged against the nations. His fury is against all their armies. He will completely destroy them, dooming them to the slaughter."
Right, and when you read the scriptures, like the nation sign, right, on the planet Earth is what, 18 different nations.
Right.
Right, with the nation of Israel being the head nation on the planet Earth. All right, and the Edomites being the lowest nation on the planet Earth, the basest of men according to the scriptures. But right now, the roles are reversed. You know, according to the blessing of Isaac, right, Genesis 25. You know, according to the blessing of Isaac, Esau is currently in his rulership. You know, Job 9:24, for the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know, but what we're living through right now is a return to the actual order of things, the way Yahweh Shem Yahushai actually created things to be.
That's right.
We're done.
This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah 3:23. Salakia. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our power is salvation of Israel. Okay, so when you go into hills and mountains, those are like the governments of different nations, small and great. Okay, these are dark sayings that are within the scriptures. So truly in vain are all the other nations hoping for salvation, man. That's why it goes on to say, for salvation is of Israel. And on this go around, it's chiefly the elect.
Right.
Just to add on to what you were saying.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 23. As he have turned the waters into saltness, so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. And when you consider, like, okay, most of the waters on the planet Earth is salt water.
Right.
You see, and like the Atlantic, the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, that's some salty ass water.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it be so dense, so densely salted that you could just float. You know, I know, like over there at the Dead Sea, like it's so salty that, you know, like you could float. So just as that is that salty in these waters, he says, so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. So that means you're gonna, hey man, no, hey, Lord finna fuck you heathens up. That's all we gotta say, man.
No, it's a rock.
This is
God, 39.
If I can say too real quick, you even see like when the salty meets the clean water, it's a division.
Yep.
Man, it's showing you that the Lord ain't with all this coming together, man. It's a division between the waters, man.
There's also that saying in the world, you know, he or she is salty. Meaning they pissed off, they mad. And that's exactly how you heathen are about to be when you see the deliverance of the elected nation of Israel and your ass is still on the planet Earth, burning the hell up. Right? Getting fucked up by the chariots. Y'all gotta be salty as hell. Y'all have to, right.
Let me add something real quick. And the brother just read in Sirach 39 about that salty water, which that's a prophecy, man, that hasn't been fulfilled. When you read up in that verse at the top, it says to be occupied in prophecy.
Right.
When you go to, the brother just read in 2nd Ezra 15:1, speaking to the ears of my people, the words of prophecy, Why is that? Because when you read in Revelation 19 and 10, Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy.
Right.
Prophecy. So it's all about the prophecies, man. You know, so these things have to happen, man. The Lord is a man, he can't lie. He tells in Isaiah 55 and 11 that his word shall not come back to him void, you know, but it shall accomplish the thing whereto he sent it. So these things have to play out. They have to happen, man, or the Lord is a liar, man. Right. You know, so which one you think? You think he going to become a liar for you? Or do you think he going to do what he said, man? I know the answer. He going to do what he said.
Right.
Habakkuk 2 and 3, it say, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come and will not tarry.
Things are gradually progressing. You know, the dominoes are falling. You know, prophecy takes place over a dispensation of time.
Right.
You know, and the scriptures also talk about how the Lord is like the Lord is going to come back as a thief in the night. So there's a certain level of gradualism, if you will, that the Most High is also using, because he wants to catch a majority of these people off guard. Mm-hmm. You know, the same thing if you're fighting somebody, you don't want them to see the punch coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's the same thing for these prophecies. None of these prophecies are going to fail. The scriptures are undefeated.
Can I just add something to that? We'll go back a second. And this is Deuteronomy 7 and 22. And the Lord thy power will put out those nations before thee, little by little, that thou mayest not consume them all at once. Okay, and that's gradualism. That's what the priest is talking about right now. He's putting these things down little by little, man. Okay, and that's all really working on the left hand, which is Esau Edom, man. That's that gradualism, but it's all being controlled by the Heavenly Father, man, which is a power of duality, man.
Right.
You see, so this place is being torn down little by little, gradually, man. Just add on to what he said. But,
That's what he did to Egypt. Like the brother Banal was talking about earlier, like the scriptures don't say, okay, well on this day that plague happened, on this day he struck the land with lice. No, the Lord was just taking blows at it little by little. But then shit got real all of a sudden when he started smiting the firstborn, man. Upon cattle, upon man, you know. That's when shit really started to get real. So the same thing happening now. Hey, prophecy's a build-up, man. You know, like you read in the book of Sirach, the 18th chapter, it says, for things can happen in a single day. Things can happen in a single day. And now we got to take, bro, Esau got particular, this infrastructure that America relies on, the power grid, that right there will end life as you know it right there. So that could happen that could happen tomorrow morning. We don't know. And then Esau could use that for justification to roll out that MOTB.
Right.
So for particularly Israelites saying that, oh, we got 50 years here, we got 25 years here, we don't know what it look. Listen, man, you're not in the spirit and you don't understand what's at stake here, man.
God, if I may add, just like the brother was saying, how the electrical grid is actually graded on A, B, C, and D. And the American grid, electrical grid, is actually running off of a D grade, right, which is the lowest grade. And we believe through the spirit, you know, we're just speaking as a man, that, you know, there's going to be a blackout here, man, for a week or so. When that shit pop back on, MOTB going to be in order, man. Right? And we see that happening. You know, that makes sense. You know, but just to add one on what the priest was saying. Go back to second.
Just going to the point, like y'all saying the plagues, like it was little by little. You know, even just boxers, you know, they're known for, like, you know, if it's a good fight, they gonna pick you apart. They really want to, you know, draw it out. You know, give them something to see. But lions are known for playing with their food too. You know, who's coming back? That lion of Judah, man.
Right.
He gonna play with them before he gonna get a taste of that, man. He gonna make it exaggerate things.
Yeah. He gonna make it a fight.
Yeah.
That's that verse fight.
Yeah.
All right, let's start back up top. This second Ezra is 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I have put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Right, which the Lord has put in our mouth. We're not out here just freestyling. We're not out here just pushing just random, you know, philosophies and ideologies and shit we came up with while we was, you know. This is all the spirit of the Lord. You got it.
And I will cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true.
Right, and I will cause them to be written on paper, so they are faithful and true. Right, because when you read the scriptures, right, your modern day Bible, if you will, is a collection of books, right, which prior to their current form were written down on scrolls. right? But also you have modern day, all right, you have the word going out right now primarily through the internet, right? Through virtual epistles, you know? But it still applies. The scripture still applies to exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a new, just new technology on the scene.
Yep. Yep.
You know, but that's why they call it a Facebook post, right? Because when you go into that word post goes back to the word letter, like you're writing somebody a letter, and that's what the New Testament is. It's a collection of letters.
And you ask for brothers' pages. What's his YouTube page?
Yep.
That's a spiritual book.
Yep.
If I may add, all America really is, man, when you really think about it, it's ancient Rome with modern day technology. It's pretty much all it is, man.
That's right.
You know? It's that, following after the first beach, which is ancient Rome, but with modern high-tech technology. That's all.
And that's the spirit, right? The scriptures talk about that which has been is that which shall be, roughly paraphrasing. So the same way we read about, the Apostle Paul, the Apostle Peter, right, James, the same way we read about them writing letters and sending them to specific churches, it's the same thing taking place right now. And these letters are to Israelites.
That's right.
Now within these letters are contained, judgments about Esau, right? Judgments about, America, Babylon the Great. But again, it's to the nation of Israel, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos.
15:3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Con. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I have put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right. Fear not the imagination, right, of all these people, right? Because best believe, we're out here, pushing this word, right? And it's to the point now to where everybody knows about this word.
Right.
Right. Everybody at your job, right? Everybody at your family reunion, all right? Everybody at the gym. These people know what the hell is going on, man. These people know who we are.
Yeah.
And they fucking hate us, and we hate you niggas too.
Right.
And the Lord is the one creating that division. Matter of fact, can we get Matthew 10 and 34? Right? Because again, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is creating a proverbial line in the sand. And the gap between, those within the ministry, those within the truth, the believers, the gap between us and them is only going to get greater as time goes on. That's why the scriptures talk about them waxing worse and worse.
Right.
With them waxing worse and worse, they're going to hate us even more. And we know that's going to end up leading to persecution.
Right.
But guess what? The scriptures, like we're reading 2 Ezra 15:2, we've specifically been warned not to worry about that.
That's right. Yeah, that non-belief, that incredulity, man, because the scriptures say in Romans the 3rd chapter, proving that the Lord don't give a damn. What if some did not believe? Shall their non-belief make the faith of the Lord to none effect? Roughly paraphrasing. And it says, God forbid, which means hell no, man. So the Lord don't care if you believe or not, man. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do what he's going to do, man. It's written. If you claim to believe in this, you should know that these things are going to happen, man.
Yeah, you got it. This Micah chapter 7 and verse 10 in the NLT. It says, then my enemies will see that the Lord is on my side. They will be ashamed that they taunted me, saying, where is this Lord, that God of yours? Where with my own eyes I will see their downfall. They will be trampled like mud in the streets. And we know when you read it in the KJV, it talks about then she that is my enemy. Man. You see, that in NLT, it's our enemies are women. You know women are our enemies, but this groups everybody in the whole, man. My enemies, it's everybody. See, everybody who stands against this truth, man. Then they're gonna see. They taunted us and say, they're going to see that the Lord is on our side. They taunted us and said that, where is this Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua? They love to say that, bro. They love to say, where is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua? Even our own family, man.
Right.
You see, where is this Lord? Where is this? We know Jesus. Where is this Yahweh? He's talking about some Yahweh stuff. They love to scoff, man. But they said the same thing in 2 Peter, man. You see? since the fathers fell asleep. Everybody got that saying, but they just scoffing, man. Where is this Yahweh? Since the fathers fell asleep, everything been as they were from the beginning. You see? Where's the promise of his coming? Where the Lord is coming, man. And they're gonna see it. They're gonna get trampled down, man.
That's what Scripture say. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. When the Lord get ready to put it down, it's gonna be all silent out here, man. Then they gonna know. That's not our doctrine.
You got something? Okay. It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 17. I'm gonna start at verse 13. And this is what the wicked is saying about the elect. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstains from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Here's the point. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
Yep, and that's it. We're getting ready to see, all right, who was right, all right, and who was wrong. And we know that we're right. And it's not because of anything we're saying, anything we're doing. Again, the scriptures are undefeated. Everything that was written in the scriptures has come to pass up to this point. So why would we forsake that? We're not. In Lord's will, we endure until the end.
Hey, read that in 2 Ezra 15, the next verse. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 4.
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Yep. They're all gonna die, man. All the vain hopes, all right, and beliefs of these people are founded on nothing. They're backed by absolutely nothing. They're backed by whatever it is that Esau Edom has taught them. And it's nothing. That's why when these prophecies begin to unfold, these people are gonna fold. Right. Because they don't have any foundation. They don't believe in anything. The only thing they believe in is this system that Esau has created and their own power. But it's going to be very abundantly clear that you have no power. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to plague America.
Right.
And destroy it.
Like you were saying, they thought process is not backed by nothing. Well, so is the money too. Right. And this system, they leaning upon this system, and the money is not backed by you. So you trusting in your riches is going to be a snare. That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's what Scripture said. Why did he enrage and imagine a vain thing, man? Right? Because all that they imagine is vain, man. It's not going to be to their profit at the end of the day, man. Yeah. All right. It's only going to be to their demise and their destruction, man.
Y'all have anything? Just read the last one more time.
Okay, come. This is 2 Ezra 15. I'll start at 3 and then go down to 4. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right. The Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. Right? What is that? 2 Timothy, the 1st chapter? The Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind, roughly paraphrasing. So we have an advantage over these 2/3 and over all these people who are completely bugged out of their mind, that still believe that this system has something to offer them. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ukakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles that taught us this truth. And shalom to the next king. Shalom.
Shalom.